Passing her test after a period of no contact begins with understanding the purpose behind it. It's important to recognize that this test isn't about setting you up to fail or putting you in an uncomfortable position. Rather, it's her way of assessing the changes you've made during your time apart. It's her way of protecting herself, ensuring she's engaging with someone who has grown, learned, and evolved. This moment is less about judgment and more about reassurance, and how you approach it can make all the difference. The time spent in no contact wasn't just a pause, it was a reset. During that period, you had the chance to reflect on your past actions, understand the dynamics of your relationship, and gain insight into what led to the distance in the first place. This test serves as a checkpoint, a moment where she's trying to see if the person reappearing in her life is someone who has learned from their experiences. It's natural for her to have doubts or concerns, and it's equally natural for her to want to protect her emotional space. Your task isn't to convince her with grand gestures or superficial promises, but to demonstrate genuine change through your words, actions, and demeanor. When you approach her test, remember that it's not a battle or a competition. It's not about outsmarting her or trying to win her over. Instead, it's an opportunity to show that the time apart has allowed you to grow. Speak with authenticity, and let your actions reflect the maturity you've gained. If she brings up concerns or questions about the past, don't shy away from them. Acknowledge what happened with honesty and take responsibility for your role in it. Growth begins with accountability, and she will be more inclined to trust you if she sees that you've faced your shortcomings head-on. It's also crucial to show empathy. Try to understand her perspective and what she may have gone through during the period of no contact. While you were working on yourself, she might have been healing, processing, or navigating her emotions. When you consider this, it's easier to approach the situation with patience and understanding. Don't rush to prove your point or demand validation. Instead, listen to her concerns and let her see that you genuinely value her feelings. Situation. One of the most effective ways to pass her test is through consistency. It's not enough to say you've changed. You need to embody that change in every interaction. She may test you with her questions or actions to see if you're still reactive, defensive, or dismissive like before. Your ability to stay calm, grounded, and respectful in these moments will speak volumes. Respond with thoughtfulness rather than impulsiveness, and let your growth shine through in how you handle yourself. Finally, remember that her test isn't a definitive judgment. It's a step in rebuilding trust and re-establishing a connection. Even if you feel the pressure, don't lose sight of the fact that you're human, and this process is about progress, not perfection. Be patient with yourself and with her, and allow the journey to unfold naturally. Peace lies within, and you are more powerful than ever. If nothing else, let her see the sincerity in your actions and the depth of your intentions. Passing her test is not about perfection. It's about showing that you've grown, that you've reflected, and that you genuinely value the opportunity to reconnect. Personal growth and accountability are the cornerstones of passing her test after no contact. It's one thing to claim you've changed, but it's another to embody that transformation fully. Words alone won't suffice. Your actions, mindset, and energy must convey the growth you've achieved. The time spent apart wasn't just about waiting for the moment to reconnect. It was an opportunity to reflect, rebuild, and redefine who you are and what you stand for. This isn't about impressing her with rehearsed lines or surface-level improvements. It's about showing her that you've taken a hard, honest look at yourself and committed to becoming a better version of who you were. During the no-contact period, you likely faced moments of discomfort, realizations, and maybe even regret. Those moments, while challenging, were opportunities to confront the aspects of yourself that needed attention. Maybe there were patterns of behavior that led to misunderstandings, or habits that contributed to the distance between you. By addressing these issues, you didn't just grow for her, you grew for yourself. True personal growth is about finding strength and clarity within, regardless of external circumstances. When reconnecting, it's essential to acknowledge that growth isn't about perfection. She's not expecting you to have solved every problem or become an entirely different person. What she's looking for is evidence that you've taken responsibility for your past actions and made tangible strides toward improvement. This requires humility. It's not easy to admit where you went wrong or how your actions may have affected her. But accountability is a powerful way to rebuild trust. Owning your mistakes, without defensiveness or excuses, shows her that you respect her experiences and value her perspective. Equally important is demonstrating how this growth has reshaped your priorities and how you approach relationships. If, for example, you realized you struggled with communication or emotional availability in the past, show her that you've worked on these areas. This doesn't mean over-explaining or forcing conversations, but rather being intentional in how you interact. Make her feel heard, respected, and understood. Fifth dimension, let your actions reflect the lessons you've learned and the effort you've invested in becoming more mindful and present. Accountability also extends to the future. It's not just about acknowledging what happened before, but also about committing to doing better moving forward. This involves being consistent, reliable, and transparent in your actions. She might still have reservations or doubts, and that's normal. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight, it's earned over time. By staying true to your word and maintaining the positive changes you've made, you show her that your growth is genuine and lasting. It's also important to understand that personal growth isn't a journey with a clear endpoint. It's ongoing, and it requires self-awareness, effort, and adaptability. She may test you to see if your growth is real or if it's a temporary facade. How you respond to her questions, actions, or even moments of tension will reveal whether you've truly evolved. If you've genuinely worked on yourself, these tests won't feel like challenges. They'll feel like opportunities to showcase your progress. Above all, remember that this isn't just about passing her test. It's about building something stronger and healthier together. Growth and accountability form the foundation for a connection rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and trust. Let her see that the person standing before her today is someone who values personal development and has used the time apart to reflect and grow. No matter how the situation unfolds, the growth you've achieved will remain with you. It's a testament to your resilience and your willingness to learn and improve. Let that be your guiding principle as you move forward. Approaching this situation with confidence and positivity is not just important, it's essential. After a period of no contact, how you present yourself sets the tone for the interaction. Confidence is not about being arrogant or overly assertive. It's about carrying yourself with assurance, self-respect, and an inner calm that reflects the work you've done on yourself. Positivity, on the other hand, shows that you've moved beyond the past and are focused on creating a better, healthier dynamic. When you reconnect, the energy you bring will speak louder than your words. If you appear nervous, defensive, or overly eager to please, it may give the impression that you haven't truly grown or that you're still emotionally reactive. Instead, focus on maintaining a composed and grounded demeanor. Confidence isn't about proving yourself to her. It's about showing that you're secure in who you are and the steps you've taken to improve. Show your bond. When you exude that quiet confidence, it naturally puts her at ease and allows for a more open, honest interaction. Positivity plays an equally crucial role in how she perceives you. If the conversation begins with negativity, complaints, or rehashing old issues, it's unlikely to lead to a productive or meaningful connection. Instead, steer the interaction toward uplifting and forward-focused topics. Acknowledge the past where necessary, but don't dwell on it. Show her that you've learned from it and are now focused on building something better. Positivity doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means approaching the situation with hope, optimism, and a willingness to create a better future. A confident and positive approach also involves being mindful of your body language, tone, and overall presence. Maintain steady eye contact, stand or sit with an open posture, and avoid fidgeting or displaying signs of anxiety. Your tone should be calm and steady, conveying a sense of control and self-assuredness. These non-verbal cues can often communicate your state of mind more effectively than anything you say. One of the key aspects of confidence is emotional resilience. She may test you by bringing up past mistakes, expressing doubts, or questioning your intentions. It's important to respond to these moments with grace and understanding rather than defensiveness or frustration. A confident person doesn't shy away from tough conversations. They address them head-on, with respect and empathy. If she raises concerns, listen attentively and acknowledge her feelings. Validate her perspective without diminishing your own. This balance shows maturity and a genuine commitment to rebuilding trust. Positivity also means being solution-orientated. If issues arise during the conversation, focus on finding ways to address them constructively, rather than falling into patterns of blame or conflict. Let her see that you're not just interested in discussing what went wrong, but are also invested in finding ways to make things right. This proactive attitude reinforces the idea that you're not stuck in the past, but are ready to move forward in a meaningful way. Finally, confidence and positivity should extend to how you handle the outcome of the interaction. Whether the conversation goes as you hope or takes an unexpected turn, remain composed and respectful. True confidence comes from knowing that you've done your best, and that your worth isn't dependent on someone else's response. Positivity reminds you that every interaction, regardless of the result, is an opportunity to grow and learn. By approaching her with confidence and positivity, you create an environment where trust and connection can flourish. This mindset not only helps you pass her test, but also lays the foundation for a healthier, more fulfilling dynamic moving forward. Maintaining composure during challenges is one of the most critical elements of passing her test after a period of no contact. It's natural for her to have questions, hesitations, or even moments of doubt when you reconnect. These moments aren't designed to provoke you, but to gauge how much you've grown and whether you can handle difficult conversations with maturity and grace. Your ability to remain calm and collected, even when emotions run high, speaks volumes about your progress and readiness to engage in a healthier dynamic. When she tests you, whether through her words, actions, or the tone of the conversation, it's essential to remember that this isn't about punishing you. It's about seeing how you respond to pressure. In these moments, resist the urge to react impulsively or defensively. Take a breath, pause, and approach the situation with a level head. Your composure shows that you're not just reacting from a place of emotion, but responding with thoughtfulness and care. Part of maintaining composure is actively listening to her concerns, without interrupting or trying to immediately justify yourself. If she brings up something from the past that may be difficult to hear, focus on understanding her perspective rather than becoming defensive. Acknowledge her feelings and validate her experience. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything she says, but showing empathy and respect demonstrates that you value her thoughts and are willing to take accountability for your role in any past issues. Staying composed also means managing your emotions in real time. If the conversation becomes tense, or if she brings up something that triggers an emotional response, remind yourself of the growth you've achieved during the no-contact period. You've had time to reflect, process, and build resilience, and now is the moment to show it. Keep your voice steady, your body language open, and your tone respectful. Avoid raising your voice, using harsh language, or letting frustration take over. Even if the situation feels challenging, staying calm reinforces the message that you've truly changed. Another important aspect of composure is maintaining focus on the present and the future. While it's essential to address the past when necessary, don't let the conversation spiral into rehashing old arguments or assigning blame. Instead, steer the dialogue toward constructive solutions and shared understanding. Show her that you're not interested in dwelling on what went wrong, but are committed to finding ways to move forward together. At times, maintaining composure also involves setting boundaries in a respectful manner. If the conversation takes a turn that feels unproductive or overly negative, it's okay to gently redirect or suggest pausing to regroup. For example, you might say, "I hear what you're saying, and I want to make sure I respond thoughtfully. Can we take a moment to focus on how we can approach this moving forward?" This approach shows that you're not avoiding the issue, but are prioritizing a calm and constructive discussion. Perhaps most importantly, composure is a reflection of self-assurance. When you remain calm under pressure, you communicate that you're secure in yourself and your intentions. This confidence helps her see that you've matured and that you're capable of handling the complexities of a relationship. It also creates an atmosphere of safety and trust, making it easier for her to open up and engage in meaningful dialogue. Challenges in the conversation are not obstacles to overcome, but opportunities to demonstrate your growth and emotional maturity. By maintaining composure, you not only pass her test, but also lay the groundwork for a stronger, more resilient connection built on mutual respect and understanding. Communicating clear intentions is vital when reconnecting after a period of no contact. Sitting with an open mind is really important because it can help you understand something that previously might have been on the forefront of your mind. This is the moment where your actions and words must align to convey your genuine purpose and create an environment of trust. She will likely be paying close attention to your intentions, not only in what you say, but in how you carry yourself and approach the conversation. This clarity is what helps her feel secure in reopening the lines of communication and assessing whether your reconnection is meaningful and sincere. After no contact, ambiguity can create confusion or lead to misinterpretation. If your intentions are unclear, she may question whether you're genuinely interested in rebuilding trust or if you're merely testing the waters without a clear goal. From the outset, be honest and direct about why you've chosen to reconnect. If your goal is to mend the relationship, let her know. If you're seeking closure or clarity, express that as well. The key is to avoid mixed signals, which can make her feel unsure or guarded. Clear intentions also mean being transparent about your personal growth and what you've learned during the time apart. Share in a genuine and concise way how you've worked on yourself and what changes you've made. However, this isn't about making grand declarations or trying to impress her. It's about demonstrating that you've taken the time to reflect and that your efforts are rooted in authenticity. sex with a friend, your actions will naturally reinforce your words, creating a cohesive message that she can trust. As part of communicating your intentions, it's important to be prepared to answer her questions honestly and thoughtfully. She may want to know what brought you to this point, what your expectations are, and what you're willing to do differently. When these moments arise, take the time to answer fully and with sincerity. Don't rush to defend yourself or downplay her concerns. Instead, use these opportunities to show that you've thought deeply about your actions and your future together. Listening is another essential component of clear communication. While it's important to express your intentions, it's equally vital to understand hers. Communication is a two-way street, and when she sees that you value her voice as much as your own, it reinforces the trust and connection between you. Equally important is consistency. It's not enough to state your intentions once and expect them to be taken at face value. Your words must be backed by consistent actions that align with what you've expressed. If you've said you're committed to better communication, demonstrate that through active listening and thoughtful responses. If you've promised to approach things with patience and understanding, show that through your behavior in moments of tension or uncertainty. Consistency over time is what turns intentions into trust. Lastly, remember that communicating your intentions isn't about trying to control the outcome. She has her own feelings, boundaries, and decisions to make, and it's essential to respect that. Your goal is not to persuade her or force a specific resolution, but to present your growth and goals honestly. Let her see that your intentions are rooted in genuine care and respect, regardless of how the conversation unfolds. By being clear, transparent, and consistent, you show her that your approach to this reconnection is serious and thoughtful. This clarity helps her feel safe in engaging with you and sets the stage for a meaningful and productive interaction. Respecting her boundaries is not just a gesture of politeness, it's a fundamental requirement when reconnecting after a period of no contact. The moment you need to arrive at this agreement, you need to ensure that your recovery will be slow and gentle. After time apart, she may have created emotional or physical boundaries to protect herself, and how you respond to those boundaries will say a lot about your growth and intentions. This isn't about pushing for what you want or trying to convince her to drop her guard. It's about showing her that you value her autonomy and respect her choices, even if they aren't what you hoped for. When you reconnect, she may be hesitant, guarded, or unsure about how to proceed. These reactions aren't signs of rejection, but rather her way of assessing the situation and protecting her emotional well-being. It's essential to acknowledge this and approach with patience and understanding. Don't rush the conversation or try to force her into a specific response. Let her set the pace and follow her cues. This approach not only respects her comfort, but also creates a foundation of trust that can support deeper connections later on. Respecting boundaries also means being mindful of how you communicate. If she expresses discomfort with certain topics or wants to limit the scope of your interaction, honor that without pushing back. For example, if she's not ready to discuss the past in detail, focus on the present and the growth you've achieved. If she needs time to think about what she wants, give her the space to do so, without pressuring her for immediate answers. This respect for her boundaries shows maturity and reinforces the idea that your intentions are genuine. Another aspect of respecting boundaries is being prepared to handle rejection or hesitation with grace. She may not be ready to fully engage with you, and while this can be disappointing, it's important to accept her decision without resentment or argument. How you handle these moments can significantly impact how she views you and whether she feels safe continuing the interaction. Responding with understanding and kindness, even when things don't go as you hoped, demonstrates emotional maturity and selflessness. Boundaries are not just about limits. They're also about creating a safe space for both of you to explore what comes next. By respecting her boundaries, you show her that you're not just focused on your own needs, but are also attuned to hers. This mutual respect is what allows a relationship to evolve in a healthy and balanced way. It's not about giving up your desires or needs, but finding a way to honor hers while staying true to yourself. In moments where her boundaries feel unclear, don't assume or overstep. Ask. Open, respectful communication can help you understand what she needs and how to navigate the conversation. For example, you might say, "I want to make sure I'm being respectful of where you're at. Is there anything you'd prefer we avoid discussing for now?" This not only shows consideration, but also gives her the opportunity to set the terms of the interaction in a way that feels safe for her. Respecting boundaries also extends beyond the conversation itself. If she requests time to process or decides to take a step back, honor that without trying to circumvent her decision. Let your actions show that you respect her as an individual and are committed to building trust, even if it means exercising patience and restraint. Ultimately, respecting her boundaries is not about winning her approval or passing her test. It's about creating a foundation of trust, respect, and mutual understanding. By honoring her needs and showing that you value her well-being, you demonstrate the depth of your growth and the sincerity of your intentions.